The world of bald men hosting chat shows on streamers with their name on it is growing by one. How's that for an introduction, Rex Chapman?
Fantastic.
Rex Chapman on CNN Plus. New episode stream every single Monday. Always available on demand on CNN Plus. Great to see you, Rex Chapman.
Great to see you, buddy. Hey, I want to thank you real quick.
For what?
You just asked me if I'd been here, and I had been here. I thought you had changed the setup, but maybe you haven't. I came here. You had me here. I was living out here on people's couches for a couple years, and you asked me to come on. Yeah. And I think we talked about Michael, playing against Michael and all that. But that was one of my first even forays back into being seen and heard. Well, I was toxic.
Man.
So thank you, buddy.
Rex Chapman here on the Rich Eisen Show. You don't have to thank me for anything.
Yes, I do.
No.
In my mind, I do.
Well, then then I will accept it.
Thank you.
Getting to know you even better, through your Twitter feed and us direct messaging with each other, and your remarkable ability to communicate with people on a human level, to talk to people and listen to what people are responding, makes you a perfect person to host a show. And I'm not just saying that because it's called Rex Chapman. You're the only one who could host a show called Rex Chapman.
Thank you, and I'll accept that. I'm trying to do better with accepting compliments. I come from my dad's family where I just expect to get cussed out. And if you're cussing me out, then you don't. If you're not cussing me out, you don't really care.
So did you have to be arm twisted to do something like this? Because you're really putting yourself out there to do something like this, Rex. Or what do you think? So I got your pod that's been kind of building your skill level, if you will, at that up.
And that's been, you've been a vital resource for that, because anybody can be interviewed, or at least I can. I've done it since I was 15. But doing the interviewing part and having to listen and having, a few bullet points that you want to be sure to hit, but also being able to follow up, that's been a process. The pods have really kind of helped develop some of that, but I'm still just winging it.
Well, I mean, the interview that we just showed with Jason Sudeikis is terrific, and you went to the set of Ted Lasso, huh?
We went to London. We were in the actual bar. They have actually built a set that looks like that bar. We didn't go over the set, all the COVID stuff and all that, but we did sit in the bar and had the
that looked like the set.
They built a replica on set.
No kidding.
No kidding. I don't know if I should have said that, but that's the deal.
No, it's all right. That's television magic. I love that show.
Yeah,
that show
is amazing. He's amazing. I'm just having fun sitting down with. Sports is one thing. This is something completely different. And just to be able to meet some of these people. I've known Jason for a while, but being able to meet people like Ben Stiller, Amber Ruffin, who we are going to have on, we've already taped, Kevin Love, which we don't talk basketball. We talk mental health the whole time. So it's something different and something I wanted to try. Basketball, I love basketball. I love doing the tournament and NBA TV and playoffs and all that stuff. But this is just something different, and I think I would have kicked myself had I not tried it.
Do you go to each interviewee? Do you go to them and sit in some spot that's special or specific to them?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's been just fantastic. I can't believe how open and willing to talk that people are. I've been blown away by it, and I'm still, learning this whole thing from what the producers do to what and the other part of that is editing, man. My gosh.
Well, without editing, we're nothing. We're nothing without quality editing equipment in our business.
It's been fast. I have always said there's nothing like being on a team. Nothing, especially playing on a team. The second best thing to that is being on some other kind of team.
Right.
And all of this, like you guys know, it takes all of you guys to pull off something pretty special every damn day.
No doubt.
And being a part of a team, not wanting to let down the rest of your squad, not wanting to let down the the person I'm interviewing.
Right, yeah.
Wanting to do right by them, I think is huge. I've really embraced the studying part, because you've got to you really need to know your stuff when you have somebody on that you don't know.
Well, because the last thing you don't want, last thing you want is for somebody to make a reference to something that you're like, what does that mean? What are they referring to? And they refer to it firsthand because it's very important to them and you don't know.
I haven't run into that yet, but I just got a hot flash thinking about it. I really did.
And you know, so you're putting yourself out there, and I absolutely love that. So when you spoke to Ben Stiller, was he hooked up to the Meet the Parents lie detector? I mean, is that did you do that?
No,
with him,
we didn't. He's not ready to break out Magnum just yet. He did divulge, but no, it was amazing. The other part that was amazing is that. We were able to talk. This was, a month or so ago, 6 weeks. Yeah. We were able to talk about Severance in the past tense because I'd seen it. And
what a great show. Hell of a show.
Great show.
No, he came on. It had yet to really begin airing. And now it's so damn popular. Rex Chapman, CNN Plus. Show Rex Chapman, new episodes stream every single Monday, always available on demand on CNN Plus. So, jumping, I guess, into the world of sports as best we can.
Oh,
what do you got right there? Oh, you got your Phoenix Suns.
Oh, you wanted to talk sports?
There you go. I like it. They're so damn good, man. The Suns are so damn good.
The best team in the league?
I agree. They are the best team in the league.
2 or 3 years now?
Here's the thing that nobody's really talking about very much, and I know that you want to talk about just the hardcore hoops and how well they are playing. I honestly thought when the Robert Sarver report came out, that was the end of it. I thought the season's over for them. Like, how are they going to be able to focus on the hoops? How are they going to be able to just lock in? And I'm like, oh, that's right. That's Monty Williams. And then that's Chris Paul, who's kind of been through all this sort of insanity before as a Los Angeles Clipper. So that's an incredible backdrop, for the lack of a better phrase, to this season that they've been able to perform. Rex.
Yeah, a lot of distraction.
One would think.
I've known Robert a long time. He's a different guy, but I was really hurt by a lot of that, and I hope that they're able to move past it. He's been good to me, good to my family, and me and my background and the things that I stand for. Mm-hmm. And if I thought for 1 second that any of that stuff had merit, I couldn't be associated with it. Mm-hmm. I'm a Suns fan. I love the organization and what James Jones has done.
The GM.
The franchise 4 years ago was pretty much rock bottom, one of the worst teams in the league, and in 4 years the culture has really changed there. You talk about it. We hear about that all the time, but when you're around that team for any time at all, it has a real sort of college type feel to it in the locker room. Monty has pushed the right buttons. Of course, you've got Chris Paul, who's one of the best playmakers of all time. Devin Booker is a star.
He's a star.
He's a star.
No doubt.
Like, in my mind, that's what I wanted my game to look like. Mm-hmm. That at 6'5", just he can do everything. He's become a determined defender. DeAndre Ayton's growth, Mikal Bridges, his jump shot 2 years ago, it looked like Rajon Rondo's a few years, way back in the day.
Yeah,
he's a shooter now. He can make open shots. Suns are for real.
So the team that concerns you the most, is it in the Western Conference?
Yeah, the Warriors. I still think that they're elite. If Steph gets back and all of that, I think they're pretty good. I don't think Clay will be quite himself until fall.
Yeah.
He's still shaking off the rust, but man, I'm so happy to have him back, watching him, one of my favorite players. Disappointed in the Lakers, as most people are. Yeah. But yeah, and in the East, I don't know. I still like Miami. I think Miami's good. The Bucks, of course. I'm not a big Sixer. I don't think the Sixers have it.
Why is that?
Defensively, I think they've taken a hit. Joel's playing great. James is obviously, he can beat you anytime. I'm looking at the Nets, though. The Nets just somehow how'd you like to play that team in the first round?
Not at all. I wouldn't want to do that at all. And the
you
way
got
things
a game plan for two different guys, two maybe top 5 scorers on the planet. How are you going to do that? Especially, and you've had a great season, and you're the 2 seed, and you're going to play them.
No, and they're potentially. Look, it looks like that they're out of that worst play-in game. Mm-hmm. Looks like they're going to be in the one where all they got to do is just beat the Cavs, and then they're your 7 seed walking in. Look out!
I know, right? And then you got who is it in the East? That's or in the West? Well, it's my Suns. You want to play Memphis right away?
No, I hear you.
Right.
I hear you. Rex Chapman here on the Rich Eisen Show. So let's just say you sit Jordan down on Rex Chapman. How's that for an idea?
What's that?
Michael Jordan. Let's say you sit Michael Jordan down for Rex Chapman.
Love it.
What do you ask him? What would you want to know from Michael Jordan? What would the interview between Rex Chapman and Michael Jordan be from back in your day?
I think it would start with, because I was a great player in high school, mm-hmm. like all world player. That's what I felt like. I saw Michael. Michael could do that to us sometimes, mm-hmm. like pro players. It felt sometimes like, he was toying with me mm-hmm. like I toyed with high school kids back in the day. And so I would want to know, because he was freaky, those big hands and his demeanor, his bounce, his competitive will. I wonder when he realized that, because you know it. You just know it. If you assert yourself, you can't embarrass whoever you're playing against. And Michael could get into a mode at times where you really were at his mercy and the mercy of his mood at the time. And if it was a playoff situation, and I faced them once in the playoffs, they swept us like a JV team in the first round. When he was engaged, which was most of the time, he didn't take days off, he didn't rest, he played every single night. I would wonder when he started, he didn't make his high school team famously. When did he realize it? Was it at Carolina?
Was it the shot in New Orleans? Was it the shot?
Yeah. What was it? And when was it that he realized, okay, I'm better than everyone else?
That would be a great question to ask him, and then the answer, certainly, since you were on the business end, the wrong business end, right? And this is what I try to tell people who are of a certain age. They never saw Jordan play. And I know that it's unfortunate for LeBron that he's on the end of the stick of saying, well, Michael's the greatest of all time. But what you just said, I don't know if we could sit here and say LeBron toys with anybody and would toy with other professionals. I mean, he is stupendous. He's going to wind up the greatest scorer in the history of the game, and a champion, and an all-time great, and all of those things and accolades he deserves. But when it comes down to it, I just remember Michael Jordan would rip your heart out and show it to you pumping, and then put it back in, surgically repair it, and then do it again. Like
LeBron's a little more empathetic, probably.
I just,
and as an athlete, we kind of hate that, just as a cutthroat, the way we're raised,
right.
You be a man and you just go out there and you kill them. LeBron's not wired exactly like Michael is. Almost no one is, but I respect the heck out of LeBron. And I do think he has had, he's still amazing. He's almost leading the league in scoring. His game is different than it was 7 years ago. He was the fastest man on the planet, end to end, reckless abandon, and he did toy with people. I mean, he's gone through that. I think the older he's gotten, he paces himself a little more, and heck, he's played forever. To put him in the category with Michael is not unreasonable. I, of course, am biased. I think Michael's the best player ever. LeBron, what he's done, though, on and off the court, he's put himself out there. The guy's never been in trouble. He's never been in trouble. He's made, you can question the decision, okay, whatever. But that dude from age 17, 15 was supposed to be the next guy, and he's been that guy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, we can't pay enough as NBA people. You can't pay guys like LeBron and Stephen enough to, put the league on their back like it is.
Yeah, I did Sports Centers after LeBron high school games. That's how long that's happened.
That's right.
I would do Sports Centers, and LeBron's high school games would be on ESPN. And, there were no camera phones when Jordan was doing it. There was, I guess towards the end of the 80s, Mike and the Mad Dog in New York. There weren't shows like this. Twitter didn't exist. I mean, it's a totally different era in which LeBron is doing it.
What year did he come out? Did they come out, Chris and or LeBron and that class?
LeBron came out
2003.
2003.
That's the year I left SportsCenter. Yeah.
Okay, so I was just finishing playing in 2000, and I remember Danny Ainge was he was doing TV stuff, but he was watching players also. And I asked him if there was anybody out there. This was 2000, 2001. He said, there's a kid named LeBron James in Akron, Ohio, that right now, I think LeBron was a junior in high school, that right now I would trade everyone in the league for, with the exception of Kobe.
Danny Ainge
said that, and I went, what are you talking about? And then I watched some film of him playing football and then also playing basketball. And the only thing he couldn't do was shoot. That was it. He could do everything else. His passing was otherworldly, defensively, he could jump. Amazing. Danny was spot on.
There's no question about that. And that's why I'm kind of sheepish to even bring up the Jordan LeBron conversation. But again, I'm of a certain era.
Right.
And, when you talk about the Jordan mindset, you do talk about Tiger, who's on the course right now doing a remarkable, just what he's doing now.
Amazing.
Serena, you talk about people of that stature and sort of a mindset and warrior mentality in a way that does not get applied to LeBron in the same way. And maybe because LeBron, if you remember, of course, when he started, it was always he makes the pass, he doesn't take the shot.
Right.
And he did that even again just recently. That was something that happened that he got roasted for this season.
Yeah. I think some of this, too, is the era that we're in. When I was playing in the NBA, especially early on, pre-cell phone. And so you didn't have, unless you played college ball with another guy, you didn't know them from AAU from the time you were 8 or 10 or 12.
Yeah.
All of these guys, the Trae Youngs, the LeBrons, all these guys, they've known each other on this travel circuit from the best players in the country. They've known each other from the time they're young. And I think that there's some, remember how weird it was when all of a sudden Larry and Magic were doing a commercial together? We were like, what the hell is this? This is not cool. They don't like each other. And so I think we've gone through this period where, we remember this analog world where people there was no Twitter. You couldn't connect with people you weren't physically around all the time. And so I think the world is a little different, and these guys just know each other better, and it's not as cutthroat. It's just not.
Chris, you want to ask Rex something?
Yeah, Rex, you did 2 dunk contests back in the day, 90 and 91. Just quickly, your experience then, what you remember, and then how can they fix the dunk contest now, because it's really bad?
Not everybody can say they've been beaten by Dominique Wilkins in a dunk contest. He won it the first year I did it. They wanted me to do it my rookie year, begged me to do it, the league, and I wanted no part of it. I wanted to be an all-star if I went to the dunk contest. The second year, it was in Miami. The Hornets made me do it. I did it. It was fine. It was fun. The next year, it was in Charlotte. I got robbed. I still ask D. Brown how my trophy's doing, making sure it's not dusty. No, he was great. Sean Kemp was probably the best dunker that year. How they can fix the dunk contest, I've said this forever. The money doesn't really matter. It's not going to be money. It's not going to be whatever. Find the best Bentley, whatever. Trick it out. Put it at midcourt. And they're dunking for that. They'll dunk for the car. They can all go buy the car. I get it. but it's a free Bentley.
True.
And winner take all. We'll have some dunkers.
And there's only one of a kind.
One of a kind.
Right?
One of a
It's
kind. It's
one.
the dunk contest Bentley. I mean, come on.
Rex, why do you
And,
think LeBron never?
and they stitch the winner's initials
Yes.
into the
Embroidered.
upholstery
Yes.
as it's done.
Yes.
Rex, why do you think LeBron never entered the dunk contest?
I think it was pretty. I don't know. I think, for him, it's kind of lose. If you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
He's
That's
the,
true. Okay,
he's
yeah.
the best dunker. We know this. I mean, at one point he was, for sure. I don't know. I think it was just a lose thing.
Plus, he probably already knows the person at Bentley to make him the car anyway for nothing. Are you a golfer as well? Do you play golf? Rex Chapman?
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
All right.
I used to be good, like when I played basketball.
How good were you? How good?
At one point, I was like a 3.
Damn.
But I haven't. It takes everything I have to break 80 at this point.
All right.
I'm more.
By the way, it's
85.
impressive.
Yeah.
Please,
yeah.
then
And I also started playing like it was getting to the point that it felt more like work. Like I was trying to get good.
Oh,
And
forget that.
Yeah, I'd miss an 8-foot putt and lose my mind. Like, what are you doing? This is supposed to be fun, man.
Yeah, you need perspective at that point in time. Who was the best player in the association when you were playing in the association? Who was the best one?
Danny Ainge is damn good, really good. And listen to this. Danny Ainge really good.
But you're drafted in 3 sports.
Scratch golfer.
That's
yeah,
right.
he's terrific. And big 6'5". That's not
easy.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
But a quick story.
Sure.
Ray Allen story. I was with Danny a couple years ago at the Hall of Fame. Steve Nash, Jason Kidd, and Ray Allen all got in. Mm-hmm. And so I was there to support Steve and Jason. Danny was there for Ray, of course, and I didn't see Danny until after the speeches and whatnot. And of course, Ray got up, and Ray is notorious for his work ethic, and he really does sort of think if you talk about his talent that you're diminishing his work ethic. And so Ray he's military family, and he's routine, and he's a worker. And that was pretty much what his speech was about. And I went up to Danny afterwards and said, poor Ray Allen, if he only had some talent. And Danny said, I played golf with Ray last week in Boston. I forget the course. He said, course Ray's never played on before, and he shot 64. And I said, what? And he said, yeah, you know how his jump shot looks? I said, yeah. He said, like his golf swing looks, just textbook. Just what?
I always usually like Ray Allen. No, I hate him. Wow. Can you imagine 64? You never played a course. You're going out and shoot a 64 and say his
I
golf
think he
swing's
said
like his jump
64.
shot?
It could have been 66.
He probably did a
67.
full
I don't
research.
know.
He probably had
I could have
scouting,
exaggerated
yardage
that a
books
bit.
and everything.
He got game, everybody.
He's got game.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Wow. I love when he's been on. Ray Allen's been on. It's just one of the many ways to just pick his brain, and I'm glad that he and KG have kind of buried.
Me
that
too. I thought that was beautiful. I saw Ray at an MMA event a couple years ago, and walked up to him. I said, "Ray, man, you look like you can still play." He said, "I can."
Back here on the terrestrial radio outfit, Rex Chapman here on the Rich Eisen Show. I mean, what do you? How do you decide what you're posting? Like today, by the way, our poll question. Ask him the poll question based on his. His tweets today.
I don't know how big of a baseball guy you are, Rex.
He's the one who tweeted these facts out.
I understand,
Chris?
but I don't know if he's a hardcore fan like we are. Like, which baseball movie that came out today is your favorite? Sandlot, Major League, Bad News Bears.
You put all three of those things out there.
But again, this is so easy at this point. I have people that send me this stuff, and the guy that sends me most of the anniversary stuff, great guy, just had a baby. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Kevin is his name.
Yeah.
But around midnight every night, he just sends me stuff, and it kind of grows his Twitter. And
You've got your own homegrown curators.
It's
is what
amazing.
You're saying?
I used to look for stuff years ago.
Yes.
And over time, there are 2 or 3, 4 people really. One in the Netherlands, one in London, one in Chicago, and one in Jersey. And those guys are magnificent curators, and they'll just send me things, and I'll after the show's over, I'll get out of here. There'll be a couple DMs from them, and it'll be like, check this out. Amazing.
So do you have an opinion on, because I did not know, I could not believe like those three baseball
it was
movies all
probably
came
opening
out
day,
on
right?
this date. Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, of those three, Bad News Bears.
I'm with you too, but I
Come
bet you
on.
that's last place because it's the oldest, right?
Yeah, it's last place.
Is it last place?
It's 10%.
It's going to be the Sandlot's going to be the favorite.
Sandlot
right?
Major League actually just one off. 46% Sandlot, 45% Major League.
Okay. But Bad News Bears, Tanner.
Does anybody understand that without the Bad News Bears, there aren't fill in the blank of so many movies?
And I named my middle daughter Tatum.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Because of
No, from Tatum the Road, but think about that.
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum?
Rex just knew.
He's not
Rex
naming
just
it after
knew.
a
There's
Duke
a street
player.
named Tatum in Phoenix, but both and Tatum O'Neal.
They could say that. I mean, Walter Matthau as Buttermaker.
Oh,
is
genius.
Just, you know,
Was he even nominated?
I don't know.
I bet he wasn't. I mean, they didn't nominate for movies like that at that time, did they? I don't know.
He
was genius.
Everyone needs to go to our YouTube page to see this story that I'm about to paraphrase for you here, Rex Chapman. We had Kevin Pollak on, who'd be a great guest for you.
Love him.
And he told a story about Walter Matthau, that when he passed away, on the back of the, I guess, booklet that they had there for the day's events and remembrances were like his bets from the week before.
Big time gamble.
Right.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's right.
And he and they were on the set of oh God.
Was it it was Grumpier Old Men?
Grumpier
Old Men.
Grumpy Old Men, or
It was the
Grumpier
sequel.
Old Men, right?
Yeah, it was the
Grumpier
sequel.
Old Men.
Yeah.
And he basically was just hating them being there. And Kevin asked him something along the lines of like, "What are you doing here?" He goes, "The script stinks, kid, but my bookie needs my money," or something like that. The script stinks, kid. I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, he's so good in that
But
movie.
I mean, it was like Buttermaker come to real life,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And so I just love that movie.
Same.
So I would guess that too. So that's how you decide what you're tweeting out.
Yeah,
I mean, you're just
pretty
prolific
much.
when it comes to this sort of thing.
Pretty much.
And that's basically how you and I got to get into
Yeah.
significant touch, the blocker charge stuff, and
Yeah.
I would just start responding quite a bit. And look what you've grown it into, man. I can't
So
believe
weird.
it.
Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
makes the dream
I mean,
work.
what's your teamwork? I mean, you're doing it.
No,
and it's
all
but
these
it's also
people are sending it to me. These
I
are
know.
other people's videos. You know, it's
Right.
That people would. I find it fascinating that
Yeah.
people think I'm the feel good guy and send me. You know, I try to be.
You
but
are.
Man.
What?
I'm all kinds of mentally ill, depression, anxiety. I get so worked up before these interviews.
Yeah.
Like I get nervous, not like nervous, anxious before a game. Like
Yes.
but I want to do right by the people. I want to do right by, my Sophie, who's brought me to this interview today. And I want to do right by the people that are investing their time, the cameramen, the crew, our producers, but mainly the guest. I want to do right by them and let them know that, hey, we're going to have a good time here, but I'm doing my homework.
Well, look, man, I understand what you were talking about whatever fears or whatever thoughts you're dealing with or whatever. My own 2 cents I would say to you is just be you, man.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Just show up and be you. And if you might not be in the mood or the right mindset or whatever, I don't know whatever you can do to help you get into that. But all you got to do is just be you.
Yeah.
People just want to meet you and talk to you and pick your brain and hang out with you and all of that.
When you were starting out doing this stuff,
Yeah.
did you get nervous? And you're pro at this point, and you guys just do it. But did you get anxiety?
I have anxiety watching.
Yeah.
No, I'm seriously. I have anxiety watching back like the first 2 years of this show, because I'm still to this day uncomfortable having takes.
Yes.
Like that's
Yeah,
not my
yeah.
default is to
Right.
tell you what I think.
Right.
And then I see some people who are, and you're laughing right over there because no, these guys,
I
TJ
get it.
I've
and
been
Chris,
trying to get him to have.
no, because
we worked for a while,
they
yeah.
sometimes they're just like get a take and just don't be concerned about it. And I see the people with whom I compete every day, And I honestly, I sit there and I think, how the hell does their brain work that way to come up with that wrinkle on having an opinion on something that you really don't even need to have an opinion on?
Right.
And
right.
So
no, they've showed me same. I didn't like watching myself play basketball, good or bad. I hated film, hated it. So this, for sure, they've had to force me to watch. They had to force me to watch the first couple, and I was pleasantly relieved that I saw the production of it. I saw the editing.
They got your back,
and yes, they got your back. But I was just relieved that it wasn't terrible.
Oh, and I can understand, you saying that sort of thing, but obviously you're with a highly professional outfit. Jake Tapper wouldn't let that happen to you anyway, and put it all together, and you've got a persona. I like whoever's chosen the glasses thing.
That's actually me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've noticed that you got that. You're wearing these glasses now.
I like a little color.
Yeah, it's
It helps pick me up. I think blue socks.
Okay, I like it.
Blue socks.
Okay, and then
color.
and then next time you come on, and then there'll already be a line of Rex Chapman glasses. Just bring us some free pair, because
Rich,
that's why we're in this.
Rex just brought up socks, and there's something that I've always remembered about Rex. I must have been in maybe 8th or 9th grade. There was a Brian Bosworth was on the cover of Sports Illustrated, and there was a story about Rex Chapman in there. And what I always remember, there were two things about you, Rex. One, you were the first player that I ever saw wear the quarter ankle socks that stopped, and you had on a pair of Nike, I think Revolutions or something. I just always remember that. And you were the first time I ever read somebody say the phrase, "my bad." It was a quote that you were playing basketball. I think you threw the ball away and you were like, "my bad." And that was something I adopted until yesterday. Like I say that all the time. So the quarter socks, it's just funny that you brought up your socks, because you were the first person in SI that I saw. Because normally we'd have the calf socks, you just roll them down.
Amazing.
So,
And I could go hug him.
Well, you could. We got a hard out in 50 seconds anyway, so you'll get there.
No,
you'll get there in 50.
I for real, that's true. And I got into the NBA. And I'm playing a game in Milwaukee, my first game in Milwaukee. At halftime, Ronnie Nunn, longtime ref, came to me and said, "Just got a call from the league office, Rex. You got to go back in, put on socks that show the logo, or you can't play." And so I went in and I put these logo socks on and wore the socks, but they were always rolled down. I don't know why I did that, but I did.
And you see people would notice that.
I remember
And
that.
did he just get in the hall, Ronnie Nunn? Did I see that?
I hope so. Should have been.
I think I saw that. I don't know if I saw that.
My teammates called me Ronnie Nunn for a whole year as a rookie because I was made to carry the ultrasound bag around that looked like a doctor's bag, a referee's bag.
Rex Chapman, good luck to you, sir. Thanks for coming
buddy.
on. This place is open to you anytime, sir.
Thank you, man.
Couldn't be happier for you. CNN Plus's Rex Chapman every Monday. New episodes on CNN Plus. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.